Brave. Hot take. Brave is my favorite Pixar movie. Now, don't get mad at me, chat. But I think Brave is, while not the best movie, I very thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know what I enjoyed about it that much, besides the fact that it's medieval themed. Jeremy, get the guns. Hey, I love medieval. I'm a sucker for medieval movies. Okay, medieval themes and stuff. I'm a sucker for them. Brave as one of the best, like, I don't need no man stories I've ever seen. The Three Little Bear Children toddler thingies were a blast to watch. Honestly, I think this is one of the better mom-daughter movies out there, at least that I've seen. I don't know. I just really love this movie. I don't know what it is exactly, but I love it a lot. Respectable, carry on. Shall we? Shall we? Dang, I need to, like, learn English. A Bug's Life. I don't like this movie. I just don't. It's not that good. Granted, I haven't seen it in a minute, but I don't like it that much. It's just kind of exists. I think this was Disney's second movie, right? After Toy Story? Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't like it that much. It's just too... was existing? Yay. Okay, Raph, whatever. I don't know. It's A Bug's Life just, yeah, exists. It's, like, not that great. It's not bad. At least I don't think it was that bad. I just didn't like it. But this is the original. No, this is Cars 3, right? Yeah, that's Cars 3. See? Like, it's just a movie. This was one of those movies that they made because they knew they could make profit off of it because of previous installments of the series, right? It wasn't that great. It wasn't horrible. It was watchable, but it just wasn't that good. It was more driving intensely. Yeah, it was racing sim, right? It was How to Train Your Race Car. Honestly, literally just How to Train Your Race Car. Cars 2. Horrible movie. They tried to do a James Bond, but with animated cars, and it failed miserably. I disliked it a heck of a lot. It was bad. I hated it with my guts. They're trying to, like they said, they try to do James Bond, but with animated cars. And hear me out, though. When I was a kid, Finn McMissile was sick. I don't know who Finn McMissile is, but maybe you're sick. Cars 1. Cars 1 was a good movie. I think, not anymore, but still. I think Cars 1 was a really solid first movie in a franchise that went on to do not so great. Wait. Never mind. But, like, it was just a good movie. I thought it had really good themes. And the characters were good. Mater in this movie was freaking funny. And yeah, Doc was a really good role model character. Just a good movie all around. Coco. S tier. In my opinion, one of the 2 best Pixar movies ever made. 3 best. One of the 3 best. The music in it was phenomenal. The themes of family were phenomenal. The characters and the character development, specifically, especially with Hector, was amazing. And, like, the cinematics were I know this is one of the more recent movies for Pixar, but the cinematics were top notch. And just the colors. I loved the fact that the Land of the Dead, I forget what it's called in Spanish, Isla de Muertos, or I butchered that name, but whatever. I love how colorful it was. It really made the movie stand out in a pretty bland, grayish land of the movies of the time, right? This was 2017, right? So pretty bland movies, just like in terms of color. So being something as colorful as freaking bright orange as the primary color in this movie, I think, was perfect. A really good choice. Finding makes sense, yeah. Finding Dory. Hot take. I think Finding Dory was better than Finding Nemo. It wasn't that great, but it was watchable, in my opinion. It was funny. I agree. Yeah, it's like, so here's my thing. I'll do these two together since they're basically the same movie. Finding Nemo, I personally didn't like. It was an aight movie. I didn't like it as a kid, so I never really watched it that much. But it had a plot. It had a plot. I don't know if it was a good plot or a bad plot, but it had a plot. Finding Dory, it was more practical to find a mindless fish rather than your child in a fish tank. True. Finding Dory didn't give a shit about its plot. It just tried to be funny, and that worked for me. Finding Nemo tried to have a plot and didn't really succeed, and that's why I think Finding Dory's better. The Good Dinosaur. Okay, now take my opinion on this with a grain of salt because I've only seen half a movie once, okay? I think it's an aight movie. Like, chat, you'll have to help me with this because like I said, I've seen like half this movie once. So I've never really seen the full movie, but I know that like most of it's just, it was B. Okay, so I'm good. It's just, and it was just like what, your average Pixar movie, right? Or maybe even a little sub-average considering the lineup that Pixar has. Not horrible, but nothing special. Okay, so I'm not missing much. The Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2. I think it was A. I think I'll put it above Cars. It wasn't as good as the original, but it still was a very strong movie. And I don't know. I think the whole theme with there were too many superheroes for me. I think there were too many superheroes in this movie for me to actually enjoy watching it. And the whole parenting themes, while they were cool and stuff, I think they were too prevalent in the story for me to pay attention. It wasn't just a repeat like a lot of Pixar sequels tend to be. True, it was something different, which is why it's up this high. It was a good movie. I personally didn't like it as much as the first one though, and I think it's better than most of the Pixar movies, but it could be a lot better if they had done a couple small things differently. The Incredibles. One of the other 3 best movies in Pixar's ever made. Fantastic movie. I never watched it a lot as a kid because back when I was a kid, I didn't watch a whole lot of Pixar movies. I watched a lot of like Disney animated movies, but The Incredibles was a very strong movie. Very good plot, very good villain. Had a lot of good themes I liked. Specifically with the brother-sister themes. Alright, suitable, but for the third, your life is on the line. Come again? What are you talking about? I'm confused, Raph. Whatever. I shall continue. Oh, are you talking about the third best movie? The other third best movie? Don't worry, we'll get to that soon. Like soon. And if it's not the one you want, your third favorite is a slim amount of choices. Does this affect our friendship? Like if I don't pick the one you think is the best, are we not gonna be friends anymore? Because if so, I didn't realize we were friends. No, just kidding. No, but The Incredibles is just a really strong movie. Yeah. No. Inside Out. The last of one of the 3 best Pixar movies ever made. Very strong. Like, I think the thing that carries this movie is the themes of growing up, dealing with your emotions. And I know that's kind of a cringe theme and all that, but it makes for such a good movie, especially when they do it right like they did in this movie. Just how everything interacted with itself, how all the emotion. You deserve a trip to a sharp bucket of Legos and have you deserve to trip on a sharp bucket of Legos and have soggy socks for the rest of your life. I guess I didn't pick your favorite then. I'm sorry. I guess we'll find what your favorite is later. I can probably take a guess as to what your favorite is. But we'll save it for later. But Inside Out, so, the themes in this movie carry it all the way. What? I'm confused. Anyway, moving on. We have Monsters, Inc., which was a pretty strong movie. Inside Out was high A. No, Inside Out was S. I just put it there. Monsters, Inc. Honestly, I've seen this movie like twice. A while ago. It was pretty okay. It was pretty good. I liked it. It wasn't that much special about it, but it was a pretty good movie. Monsters U. Kind of forgettable, not gonna lie. I want to put it right there. It just exists, I guess. It was a sequel that... It was one of the few Disney sequels that wasn't horrid. You know? I don't remember it. Yeah, I don't remember much of it. I remember a little bit of it, but it wasn't... I remember it not being a horrible. That's the only reason it's this high up. But except for the competitions, I don't even remember those. I just remember the one scene in the study hall where Sully shows up to class for the first time. That's the only thing I remember. And that in the beer party. Onward. Onward is the definition of mediocre Pixar movies. When it came out, I liked it. After watching it a couple more times, it was just kind of eh. And it's like, it's just stayed there. It's just a solid Pixar movie. It's literally about par for the course for Pixar. Nothing special about it. Nothing horribly offensive about it. That's about all I have to say about Onward. I had really high hopes for this movie when it was announced, with the voice actor being Chris Pratt, Tom Holland. It had some good sequences, but a lot of it was stop and go. Yeah, like I said, I had really high hopes for this movie with the voice actors, hoping they would like, they did their best, I'm sure. Like, and that's not on them if the movie's bad, right? It's the script, right? They just do what they're told. They did what they could, putting personality into the characters, and I respect that. But I had a lot higher hopes for this movie. Ratatouille. High A. It is a really good movie. I liked it a lot. There was a couple of things, like mainly how the rats can just waltz into a kitchen and cook, and yeah, it was creative. Yeah, like I said, Ratatouille was a really good movie. I'm not a movie critique, so I don't have a lot to say about it, but I liked it a lot. And I know another person that loved it a lot. That is their favorite. This is probably one of the fan favorite Pixar movies, along with these top 8 or so. Soul. I think this is also a really solid, a really good Pixar movie. Had the Jerrys, and pardon me. Had the Jerrys was very good, and 22 was probably one of the better Pixar movies, or one of the better Pixar characters that I can think of. It was fluent and the animation was beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Soul didn't really have any troubles with like flow in its movie. It was all pretty straightforward, and like the scenes were all connected in a way that made you want to keep watching. It was really good. It was a really fun movie to watch. I remember watching this on Christmas Day, actually, when it came out that night. And I remember watching it and thinking it was such a good movie. And then I watched it like 3 more times over the course of a couple weeks. And it was just got better every time. There's always new stuff to see and notice. Okay. Here's a hot take that nobody's going to like. I dislike all of the Toy Story movies. Specifically 4, 3, 2's aight, and Toy Story 1 is okay. But I dislike all of them. Except for Toy Story 1. Toy Story 1 is bearable. I think the rest of them are garbage, though. I don't know what it is about the Toy Story movies. I never liked them. I hated them at all except for one. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the Toy Story movies. I disliked all of them except for the original. The original was okay. It was bearable. I could watch it without cringing in my seat every time. But, like, all the other movies were just horrid. Like, don't get me wrong. Toy Story 4, animation was beautiful. Like, top of the line. Best animation I've seen in a while. But the movie itself was garbage. Like, hot garbage. Yeah, repetitive story making. That's literally the theme of Toy Story. I don't know. Just kind of awful, in my opinion. Up. So, I think this is... I was like, it's an okay movie. I'll watch it. I'd rather put one of these movies on, but I'd watch it. The plot itself, like, okay, the motivations for the main character were really good. Trying to find that dang air respectable or alright expectable. I don't know what this is. I can't read, but like, it's a pretty solid movie. The motives were pretty good. Some of the characters were a bit iffy. I didn't like the villain. I don't remember the villain that much, but I remember not liking him. But that's about it. Wall-E. Really good Pixar movie. My only thing is I dislike the villain because it's a freaking steering wheel. That's my biggest issue with the whole movie. And the fact that it wasn't sentient. Every other machine in this movie is sentient, so I don't understand why the wheel's not. That was a point brought up to me by someone else, so it deserves at least high A. I mean, technically it is high A, up there with Ratatouille and Soul. I'll put it above Ratatouille for you, though. You know, I'll even put it above Soul. I can respect it. But yeah, that's my tier list. I think, like I said, Toy Story movies, Garbo. Heck yeah. Bugs Life, Garbo. Cars 2, Garbo. Cars 1, or no, this is Cars 3. This is how to train your car, how to train your race car. All these are right. These are these are very solid. These are the best of the solid, and this is my favorite.